Hey, give me one more chance. Where are you?
You, honey?
Hey, where are you, honey? Give me one more chance. Where are you, honey? Give me one more chance.
Hey, where are you, Chain? More Chain.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sport Mechanics YouTube channel. It's the Nicholas. Today I'm showing you the new C3 Aircross in both 5-seater and 7-seater versions. I'm going to try to find some friends to see what it looks like when we all get inside. Let's begin in this magnificent scenery of Montserrat. So this new C3 Aircross, I had presented it to you in the studio. Remember, this time we have it on a small road in Spain. We are a few weeks before the official presentation and we can test it. I came to Montserrat here with Clémence, who will join us in the car. As you could see in the intro, very beautiful plan anyway, for the test of this car. I decided to take a specific version, but as usual, I give you all the engines, all the features, since they exist in several versions. There are 3 finishes, the U, the U+, and the Max version. Today we have the Max version in the hybrid engine. There will be 3 different engines, plus a 4th one that will arrive a little bit later. For now we can have the Turbo 100 in manual transmission, so 6 gears, the hybrid version, 136 horsepower that I present to you today. I decided to take this one because it has an automatic gearbox, which is much more comfortable, more pleasant, and also with a hybridation, which means that cars are evolving more and more, and hybrid, it still remains now the reference, let's say.
Diesels are starting to drop a little, even if some brands
Still believe in it for the big sedans, since in the end it's true that it's still smart for people who do a lot of driving. But most people will lean towards hybrid, and the hybrid, in the end, it still consumes quite little these days. What you need to know is that this is not a real hybridization with 100% electric parts, really strictly speaking. We will still see that it works rather well with phases more often than I thought. Citroën announces up to 50% of phases, sometimes electric in town to see. What it will give, there will also be a 100% electric version. 13 HP with 186 miles autonomy currently. If I understood correctly, there will be a 400 kilometers autonomy version coming soon. The thermal engines include 1.2-liter versions, a 100 horsepower manual and a new 136 horsepower engine with a hybrid system that contributes 28 horsepower, which is included in the total 136 horsepower output. And this allows a 0 to 100 in 8 seconds, which is relatively correct. Otherwise, the electric version, for example, it is in 12 seconds, 9 and a little over 10 seconds. For the horseless version. So in the end, the best compromise is found here, for the moment in my own opinion. The maximum speed is 192 kilometers per hour. The electric version will take a maximum of 143 kilometers per hour. In France, we go at 130, compared to many European countries where it's 120. For example, here in Spain, it's 120. So normally, that's enough. 143 kilometers per hour in almost all conditions, 300 kilometers of autonomy in worldwide harmonized light vehicles. Test procedure may be a little light for a lot of people, so the next version will come with more autonomy, which should please more people, and above all, actually, it makes us feel a little more safe, more secure than a small autonomy. For now, the electric version offers a 44 kilowatt battery, which is still quite compact for a battery. It can be charged in 7-11 years, optional, and up to 100 kilowatts. I also told you is available in 5 seats or 7 seats. The version we're using today is the 5-seat version that benefits from a larger trunk in the end, since otherwise we have the jump seats laid in the floor. It's a car that measures 4.39 meters long, 1.69 meters wide without counting the mirrors, and 1.63 meters high. It weighs about 1,400 kilograms, 1,500 kilograms for the electric versions, and we can tow up to 1,250 kilos with this car. The electric version can only tow 350 kilograms though. There are 44 liters of gasoline in the trap that we find on the left side. The charging port is also on the left side. As it's a pretty practical car, rather for city use, it has a turning diameter of 10.90 meters. In terms of colors, it will be available in 6 colors: blue, white, red, black, grey, and a new color called Manhattan glass, which is pretty nice. and 3 interior colors. Today we have the light version, which I prefer, with a light roof and seats with all the light colored back parts, which is quite pretty. In terms of two-tones, there will be several distinctive features. For example, we can have green with a white roof. Red with a black roof as an option. There are impressive configurations. The design follows Citroën's latest style guidelines. The singer Big Flo, or Ollie, may have become an ambassador. It's unclear if they first thought of Ollie for this role, and then they made the car, or did they say, Ollie is like Big Flo and Ollie? In your opinion, the other time they were there, but I missed them, I quite liked them. A much more distinct design, much more massive. And in reality, you'll see from certain angles, it gives the impression of a sport utility vehicle from a superior segment. It even reminds me of another car. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my view. A rather German brand. So, on the front face, we can see it's very square, it's very bulky. A really flat hood, it has indeed evolved. It's a Citroën. Well, I like it. The red color suits it very well. New logo here. Here, we have this plastic part that also stretches. As they often do in the back, they decided to do it in the front with the optical units also stretching. It really sets the car with the chevrons on each side. Under this hood, as I was saying, we find this 1.2 liter engine, 136 horsepower, which is the new version. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you about something important that I learned yesterday and which is going to be rather interesting for people who have bought cars or who buy Citroëns. You know that the 1.2 liter PureTech engines, there have been a lot of problems. Citroën has decided to do something nicer to restore confidence in people. We know that the 1.2 PureTechs, all of this there, have been many stories yesterday at the press conference. They specified to us that now the engine, the gearbox, the transmission would be guaranteed up to 8 years if you do your maintenance at Citroën. And that's a good thing to reassure people a bit, because 8 years clearly, people usually keep their car for a few years, but after 8 years, it's a good time to change. Even if the new car has a 1.2 engine, it's different. This time it's chain driven with a new 6-speed gearbox compared to the previous EAT8. There you go. It's good to have taken this step forward, because clearly I know that I would not have bought a 1.2 PureTech of the time, and I would not be able to advise it. We return to the design small wand here that we will be able to personalize. I can put them in bronze like this. It can be a blue, white, red. It can be a fluorescent green, fluorescent yellow. You will be able to paint it. It clips out. Can I do it there? I'm afraid of hurting my nails. I am sensitive. We can exchange it. We have a little Citroën logo in small detail on the side. It's nice. It's little attentions that personalize your car a little. It's just little stuff, but it's a little plus. We have black lacquered parts. This gray part, it's painted. It's plastic, but it's well finished. Lower down, we find the grid here, which is open with a small grid here. But here we have the chevrons that are really taken up to remind us of the chevrons. I like it when there are lots of little details like that. And besides, it makes it look more massive. And the fact that it is pyramid shaped, it's like a pyramid. A pyramid seems solid. It sets the car well, and it gives this unconscious psychological sensation of saying that the car is well set at the lights level, 100% LED. We have the LED vision lights. It lights up pretty well. We haven't done the night test, but I've already tried the new 103 at night. It's pretty much the same optical block. It works well. On the side 39 meters, if you've remembered correctly. So this part here reminds me of a sport utility vehicle from another brand. Up there we have the roof bars. We can have real roof bars. You can see the two-tone here on this part. 100 UT here. We have the tinted windows because we have the max version on the highest end versions. So it is tinted at the back. This, in the end, is a small security guarantee also for the children in the back, because they take a little less sun and a little more privacy. We have this little rod there that we had in the front that we can personalize this place. The small 100 e-tron that I like to mention there on its bars. So these are the decorative bars. We cannot put any material on it. Fridge type handle in two-tone. Also, it makes a little reminder of the contrast more black. I like it when it contrasts. I am a very big fan of it. Wheel arches all in plastic to bring back this sport utility vehicle side that people like in plastic. It makes a little more off-road. So I'm not sure if this is really the thing made for off-roading, but it already goes a little bit everywhere. We have the inverted chevrons there on the arches, which guide to the center of the wheel. It's pretty nice, and its rims I find beautiful. These are aluminum rims. We can have hubcaps in 16 inches or in 17 inches here. We have 17-inch aluminum with this snowflake pattern. I think it suits him super well. So we have 17 inches. Today, disc brakes at the front, just like at the back.
the bar here, the threshold, frankly, it has a quite nice look and it makes massive, inspires a little confidence. We see it, we say, yeah, this is still nice, and almost we say a little bigger. In the end, then we come directly to the 5-point of view of the olive tree watchtower, because there seem to be olive trees, but I don't really know. 100 lemons. Do you think this is an olive tree? No, I don't know why it's called the olive tree watchtower. There was maybe an olive tree there anyway, to show you this. 3/4 behind. You know, I like 3/4 behind. And this one too, I like from SUVs when it's vertical at the back. So 3/4 behind, we can see this world, which is drawn there. These little hips here, which come back, and this part there in broad daylight. We really see this line here, which sets the rear well, and the same for rear. You will see, it's nice. What do you think? Just like with the two-tone, very nice. This 100 e-tron on the rear part, we have this long spoiler here, which stands out nicely. It's nice, it stands out, and just it leads to two little vertical windows, wiper at the rear, the strip that stretches with the 100 e-tron logo. 100 e-tron logo normally now is almost the same size in front and behind. The 103 on the right, and we find here 100 Ross here in all letters. It really reminds me what the Volkswagen brand does. In fact, we would put a T, it makes T-Cross, and it's almost written the same, but all brands are getting into it. What do you think? I find it rather nice. And in addition, the chrome, like that on the red, it sticks. While the light's the same, we resume the same signature as in front. The two bands, they look a little bigger. Vertical right here, it's not into the bumper here where it's plastic. We still have some reminders with grey that leads a little more pleasant touch. It decorates and plastic part with the chevron that are recalled here, the fog light there, and the exhaust, which is discreetly placed on the right there.
We find the backup camera right here. And when I open the trunk, we're going to check out the volume of 460. It pulls the joke on me every time.
I want to sleep.
But Clemens, we're at work. We don't sleep. We entertain and inform all these people here. But we can sleep from time to time. I gave Clemence time for the presentation. Go, let's go. Come on, come here.
Come here.
Come here, let's go, you're ready.
Here, the trunk. We have 460 liters in this version, 5 seats. When we turn it into 7 seats and we fold the seats, I'll show you after. We only have 40 liters. 40 liters. Let me tell you, I put the leg and that's all. Not more than that. Clemence? Would Clemence fit in 460 liters? Don't move. Right now we can show you that we have a flat floor when we have the floor raised like this. Wait, don't move, don't move. Add exclusive sports mechanics. Bam! The Tesla they are filming the ad with. It's the new model. That's how they film ads in the cinema. Did you see the scoop, Nico the paparazzi? What do you think, Clemens? So we were saying that, and when we finally close, or rather lift the bench here, which is in 2/3, 1/3, it allowed us to show you there, for example, we have the bag, we go up, it's quite easy to do. We pull the little tabs and then go ahead. This time it's me who will climb. So we have the hard beach here when I come here that I settle up. Nico comes here more with a big bag plus the other bags. It's me, madame, but I don't want to go sleep. Please, please, I'm not finished. My presentation, I still have all the interior to do. In short, we have quite a lot of room and we still have storage underneath with looking a few centimeters, about 15 centimeters deep along the length of the trunk floor. Watch out for the phone that fell. However, as soon as there is something here, we want to lift it. However, it's really not practical because we can't easily put it back. I would have liked some kind of small pivot on the bottom that would have been much more practical. Well then, what does it look like at the back of this Citroën C3 Aircross? We have a door that opens very wide. That's great for accessibility, for putting baby seats back. Top taser isofix, and that's it in this 5-seat version. 2 in the back. So 2 child seats. Here the door is all plastic. Except for this part with our little wires. Our ticket to the rear for fun. We find these little labels, I admit that. Pleases me, I like it. These are small details. Are always pleasing. It's always nice to have a little touch of sympathy no matter where. The window order here, the lows are in white since we have this white interior, I find that it's a real plus. It brings brightness and happiness. Every day to get in, I go up a little bit. I come sit here right away. I settle in. I come across something quite comfortable on the central part. It's quite easy. To access it, I close the door and raise my headrest because in the end, they have to be raised because otherwise they go down low. When you don't have a child, you can lower the rear seats fully, giving you a clear view out the back window due to its vertical angle. Nicholas, at 5 feet 10 inches tall, finds the front seat quite low, even though it's adjustable on rails, which are raised. It allows me to be able to pass my feet. That's a very good thing for a family car. We're going to do some road and other. This is great. Look at the knee level. I have a huge space, at least there at the head level. I'm very well. We have handles. The two on the back, the two on the front don't have a handle. That's very strange. Not even the passenger, but I'm well settled, so I have absolutely no lateral support. But on the other hand, what is good is that the middle of the back is quite elastic, so it allows me to get in well. And even when I move a little bit, it's great. The armrest is quite flat. And the advantage it has is that as I can move my legs forward, I can have support here behind the knees, because look at me, I am 1.80 meters. It happens almost behind the knee fold when I really put myself all the way back. And there it allows me to disperse precisely my weight on the whole thigh. And not just on the buttocks, which is also more pleasant on the road, or even if you want to stretch out a bit, it relieves what we can't do in all cars at shoulder level. I am well. At elbow level, we have a small armrest here. We don't have a central armrest since it's more considered as a set place, so normally it should be more comfortable than some here. The seat belt then, it's really mounted inside the seat. It doesn't move much. We'll see what it gives when I sit on it. To come here, I pass my feet. If I go up on the central tunnel there, it's a little bit annoying. For children who have very small feet, why not me? It doesn't fit, and what's a bit of a shame is that it's shaped a bit like a pyramid. So I can't really tighten my feet more than that. But it's more beautiful because it's not just a big block, so on one side it's worked. But we could have maybe done better after on another side. When I'm there, I still have knee space. The head and lights are well designed, with lighting not just above the head, but thoughtfully placed. It's a nice detail. The backrest is firmer than on the sides, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit bulging, likewise the level of the seat. It's quite flat and a bit bulging. And I feel that on the sides I have no support at all. But for riding in the city quietly, as long as we don't go to the mountain and we don't go wandering in all directions, it's not bothersome. The footwells are spacious, providing ample room for my feet and two people on the sides without being bothersome. We also find the Max version features two USB Type-C ports. A 12.5 socket, no ventilator though at the rear. What I'm also going to do is show you when we go up to 7 people inside, you will see it's pretty cool. Can you hold this like that? Where we see everyone, the whole family, with the kids and everything. Dad over there, there's that left. Come straight please, like that, perfect. So I found this person. Hello everyone.
So we open the trunk.
Ready, okay. What do we see here? So there is
The 2 seats, so...
Look, we pull on the small tab.
So there is...
You're pretty strong, aren't you?
Make music.
But wait, try without pulling the tab. Can you lift it without pulling the tab? No, that's not it.
Slides, no.
Without pulling the tab, by grabbing the thing.
It's...
More practical.
Get your camera.
So we can see that we can't climb up there. It's complicated. Here we can see the trunk volume I told you, 40 liters. I told you that a leg was passing, but even the leg does not pass. It's too big thigh there, where normally we have the triangle, and we still have the part that goes on the seats that we can lodge here at the back. Clémence, I'm going to go to a very strategic place, the driver's seat.
Okay, I will do it.
Opposite, I take the place which apparently
Is the smallest. So the two people who get in the back, Clemens and Louis, we said. So that tilts.
In 2 times.
That's quite practical so far.
The opening is still quite large and simple.
We have two very flexible people. So the children in the back, the feet, oh yes, that
Works, it's the feet.
you must not have.
Big feet, but the legs go up to...
There you can fold.
If...
We indeed pass by. So here we have the aunt climbing,
The grandmother.
the uncle, our biggest child. They're up here on this side, Dad is. There, the brother next door has what you have.
Really? And
If you put on your seatbelts, will it be easy to put on?
The seatbelts.
Louise, very good student, already buckled up soon, Clements. A very efficient ace, and we are fine if we are ready to go. It is the easiest. Would say M69. I was almost there. We were not bad. And Uncle what size? 87. So a beautiful baby. And we see that there is still space in the head. But honestly, it seems to be going, no, there is room. It's not crazy. It's gone, kids. What music do you want? Well, thank you anyway to all the team. It's very nice like this. At least it gives a real idea to people we can accommodate this adult. Thank you to all. Happy holidays. Go. Let's go around the car like that because, as you know, I usually like to do it is always much nicer. It really gives an idea of the proportions, of the design, of the style. I really like this rear square, really SUV version. The Beton suits him very well. The back, really a big car. Cars really become bigger and bigger to this very nice line here that contrasts well in the sun on this red. It suits him very well. Even this front face with the new optical blocks that broaden, it's top of the top. The mirrors, we know the bits, like I said, when these tones inside the door at the front. So pretty basic plastic part, that decorative inserts there. So we have the wadding width, which is taken over the seats. So it's the same texture. The bins in white can put this kind of bottle, a bottle of 1.5 liters will fit. Here, no problem, slightly inclined. The window controls, mirror controls. And be cool, it's good to have put on a passenger side. Finally, not driver side on this side. We find 2 pedals since automatic box version. The seats, it is adjustable in height, only for the driver on this side. Then standard settings for the driver, and it is in manual, does not exist in electric version. Normally what to open the hood here, I just close on the left. I will be able to adjust the height of the headlights, deactivate the beeps for the reading of the signs and disable the lane keeping. We find vents here, then it's funny. It could almost look like a vent thing, but not at all. It's just there to be pretty. A vent there, it's symmetrical on the other side. It's much easier for English cars. Same. Here it's pretty symmetrical. We find a screen on this side here. The steering wheel here, as you can see. Where is the dashboard? There is no dashboard. Where did it go? Let's start. The dashboard is located. In fact, up there, all the way at the top, so a little bit like we had at Peugeot, with a kind of almost head-up display with cockpit. So they've put it there. A screen that is in color, we can see it, and we will know, in fact, only when we will enter into menus like that. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to show you, but there, for example, there we have menus hop, the little Osmo, he didn't like it. The steering wheel, wait, I haven't seen the maximum. This is Nico's driver's point of view when I drive the steering wheel. Quite special, quite small oval, round. I wouldn't know how to define the shape, the big Citroën logo right in the center. Only 2 branches on the sides. Here it's hollowed out. The driving aids on this side here we'll see later while we're driving. And on this side here, the sources, the voice command, the big telephone here, the volume and mute. Right in the center you'll see there's no button here except there. Otherwise you'll have to do it touch sensitive here.
So
That I admit that it doesn't work like that. It needs this, and like that. It needs this. I admit it's a bit of a shame, and we have the mute here. At the bottom, just in case, the screen is a touch screen. As usual, we know we have. And there's here a slightly square for the windshield wipers. On this side, the button that will make us change the information that we will have at the right bottom. For example, here I have 600 kilometers of autonomy left. Let's see the infos, some sort of contour, but which isn't really a contour. And on the left, the gas gauge plus the speed right here. We will be able to change some infos there down the other side. We find the headlights. So I will be able to adjust my fog lights here like that. We do not have any button on this side, but here, the dashboard with this large line, it is the same. We have some space, but we have the defrosting located there. So don't put things here a bit like we would on a construction vehicle, a bit the valves, etc. We will still be able to put some things down there, but don't forget, if you put things there, it will not defrost the windshield. Well, this screen, as I was telling you here, then it is in glossy black, and we have a small rod here to rest the fingers just in case to navigate. Otherwise, you have to grab it from the top. It is still quite far, but it has been brought closer compared to some cars.
It's true that there are a lot of reflections.
There, it should be a little bit better. So, I can still put my fingers here. It allows me to navigate. There, it's quite smooth.
I have the radio here.
I have the phone here. I accept navigation, so this sees us. We can zoom in and out right here. Colleagues are passing by in an Aircross. The screen works well without issues during this test. It has Bluetooth, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay connectivity, either wirelessly or with the hidden USB-C port on the side. There's a fabric-covered storage area for a phone or other items, which is handy. A little ambiance lighting is visible there. Here in white, I don't know if you can see it. Then ventilation block, the air conditioning here. We will talk about the air conditioning again during this test. Where am I going to get ventilated? Is it air recycling or not? And the ventilation power right here, I'll cut it off. AC, auto, defog, and max power. Then we find an induction charger here with the Citroen. And in fact, you see induction when it's like this, and there is a small LED here, the cup holder here. With this, we can play music on a USB stick. They had, for example, put music here on the USB stick. I'll put it back for the next people who come. The gearbox here, you can see there is no selector. It comes in manual. And like this on the electric versions too, it will be the same. Foot on the brake, I pull towards me, it will be in drive. I reverse here, and there is water. So the L, I wouldn't really understand what it was for. Stay in D, it will be pretty good, but I think the L is more a thing for mountain setting, some sort of braking. An extra engine, the parking brake, here a small storage compartment, and this with the sliding corridor, that's good. And a storage here, a little depth. I don't have a small bottle, this is the size of my hand. We'll put the small bottles in as they fit. 50 centiliters fit in without too much trouble here. And we will be able to close the passenger seat. Looks like this, the headrests, small comma. This reminds me of a brand. Do you agree with me or not? The very soft side of all this, the comfort seats are comfortable. You find the glove box right here. So the glove box is not as deep as usual, but nice stuff. Is what we find this kind of size I like with cars from Citroën small, like that. I'll take you to see it later. I found another nice little thing this way. A stain on the thing. Yeah, sorry for the small stain on the sensor there. Up there we find... the LEDs are really in white. The assistance button, the SOS button. Wondering if we have put our belt on the mirror. Something very basic like that, but it is still electrochrome. We can see the LED here. It's if it needs to be over tinted. Not voila, we have pretty much toured this car. We have Clémence who will join us. But before, I wanted to show you a little thing that I saw earlier that is very well hidden. It is there. I don't know if you see, you won't see it. Do you see it or not? Sort of small cock, the chicken, it is there anyway. Let's join Clémence who will take us finally. No, I will take her for a ride. Then she will drive me a little at the end and we will do a debrief when we have returned here. Come on, let's go. Are you ready? Because you have to be happy.
But I'm super happy you
Are super happy.
I'm super happy. C3 Aircross is quite a big Citroën launch, so it was about time we tested it.
I have already done the C3 Aircross, which is quite impressive.
We wait.
It exists in 5 seats.
7 places.
And that's that.
I'm interested in it. You don't care, but I think it's great.
Considering the number of kids I don't have.
Yes, but it's children and loads.
Yes, indeed.
Not that I'm comparing children and suitcases, but when you're not in 7 seats, you have a hell of a trunk.
Indeed.
That's convenient. You?
Are you 5 or 7 seats? Because I believe there aren't many people left who like 7 seats, but I find it really useful even when you only have 3 children like me.
Me. I am rather 2.
Places. Maybe you're more of a sporty type.
Exactly. Oh, okay, Clémence. It's vintage. It's vintage. It's been a long time since I've turned the key. Let's go drive for the ride with this car. The little problem we have is that we forgot to put the GPS with the right cable, since we are not going to follow the loop we have. So there we are. In drive has never made any noise. When we are in drive, we can't quit the parking radar. So that, on the other hand, is a thing that annoys me.
Yeah, I like it too.
No, we can't.
But I imagine you there in the parking lot. How do you find the global positioning system?
Defeated, and if you didn't check ahead where you had to go, well, there, in this case, in a parking lot, I think I'm going to go there.
So the hybrid is quite advanced. We have 28 horsepower in hybrid, as I told you, but so yes, it seems like basically if you haven't looked well before, well, it's over for you. You don't know where to go, or if people are approaching, for example, if you haven't looked, you get to an intersection and everyone is approaching you, and it lights up the parking sensors who don't know where it is, and you can't leave. And I admit that it's a bit annoying. However, I like the fact that you have this more advanced hybridization.
To start in.
The traffic jams, in fact, it transforms. We've forgotten something.
It's
the morning. Excuse me, I know it's early in the morning. Afterwards, it's the web animation concerning
that you. The 212 kilometers, 6.9 average for our colleagues.
Honestly, it's not bad. I will
leave our step like that. We do ours.
or walk, but
Here we go, 6.9 for the colleagues. That I find a bit too much.
It depends if they went to the Mount Ferrat who had fun in the ascents.
There it is, the engine restarts, so we hear a bit. It's on line 2. So you are this characteristic of the 3 cylinders. It has already recut. You'll vibrate a bit. Yeah. So it's cold in addition because the cars have not started until now. We're going to pass along the C because it's pretty that we're at 6 gestures and it would go with. And what's good is that I know you see the blue ponds down there when I'm in electric, so that allows me to know I have to hear there. I don't have the contour. The brands and less put accounts for a little bit of bad. You see the sea, the waves, the ocean. Normally it's supposed to have a beautiful sunrise, but it's a bit grey today. The turn signal is very unpleasant.
I prefer the one of the Quattro for the shot, which is more serious.
A little bit more that. This is so good. It feels good.
Well, it's freezing in France.
It's a 20 zone clemency.
At 22.
He is at 22.
Do you have your shortcut? Yes.
Thank you, Citroën, for putting 2 little shortcuts on the side deactivation of the thing. So I believe you have to
press
and hold to disable. That's good. So it's now blinking on the side down there. However, that's a thing. And this noise, it was horrible.
And unbearable.
Fortunately, they put the buttons here. This is honestly a very good thing, and like strong, you're going too fast.
It's unbearable?
Who is the jackass who had this idea? You see, good at 30 kilometers an hour. We switched back to thermal. The engine warmed up little by little. Now we're driving at a pretty cool pace. One at 30 kilometers an hour, who is now basically what will happen in the city of France. Thank you to all these people for whom we vote all the time to do these things. So interesting for us.
It's to favor the scooter.
You stroll around a bit with the scooter accounts.
Well, no, but safety is my priority all the time. All the time. 30 kilometers per hour. Honestly, it's nice. Look, all the routes and everything I think I see. You hear how it is and how the little we move. It's that the suspension, there's no denying it. Even on the basic C3, which is currently one of the cheapest cars on the market, this suspension with double bus and hydraulic works very well. We switched back to electric. You see, what I like is
that it alternates. In fact, you did nothing.
I did nothing. I didn't touch anything. The
foot
didn't even
reach the same
generation, and there is an L. We don't have the M like yesterday.
Yeah.
So what is this LC going to be used for?
Force the recharge of the small battery. No, it's not a brake.
Actually, it's the same thing. No, it's maybe actually just for the mountain or something. It maybe does an engine brake.
Yeah, careful.
Small dodan or...
Doesn't it?
This is...
It's very good.
Regarding the suspension level, it's quite pleasant on descents, switching back to thermal after using electric. The hybrid system really works well. We tested it before on the new 3008, which wasn't fully developed yet. Then we tried it out on the 100 e-tron 5, which I quite liked, and now doing it on the 103, so 103 Aircross, and it's really a good idea. I can't wait to discover this engine on the new 100-3, which is this but smaller, which also has its own appeal. Now we've switched back to electric. This micro-hybrid system has really been pushed to the limit, and it's become very pleasant now, even with the stripes and everything on the Big Dan.
Obviously, we can still feel it.
But
You see?
It's very soft, yes. I agree. The roundabout Clemence, let's do it all.
Continuation.
To the police, wait, let them go.
We are going to be less maintained.
Yeah, you see, we are quick. We are very
Quickly taken away.
Actually, they are us. They only retain a little bit of the
Bottom, yet there is a small reinforcement on the side, but it's there.
We weren't going very fast. We're going to add a little bit of rhythm.
What I hate, it's going to unhook the stop.
Stop!
It opens slightly on the other hand. You saw, because it actually opens, it pinches a little brake to rebalance, and then it brings a little back. Yeah, actually, it wraps a little back. We were going
Fast, yeah.
The car stinks a lot like yesterday.
As we expected, because it's my little breakfast, yet surprisingly enough, in fact, yes.
If you want to talk, for example, to Clemency, you turn a bit like this. I hate it.
I hate the noise, the brutality.
She says, while she is the most brutal driver I know.
Well, I'm not a very gentle person. Listen, everyone has their qualities, then what?
On the contrary, what I'm going to do is activate my mode. No, that's the imitator. No, that's the imitator. That's the regulator. How to activate play. Yes, it doesn't activate Clement's driving aid. I see nothing. I want everything.
The screen there, it prevents me from seeing
50?
Whatever you can do anything, I don't know.
50 kilometers.
Hour.
Yeah.
We're bored.
It's the legislation like yesterday, Clemens, like every time. 50 kilometers per hour is the speed to respect. You can hear the engine a bit, so it's clearly less insulated than the C4 yesterday.
Less noise insulated, whether it's the engine, the sound of wind, or road noise, it's all there.
But it's also significantly cheaper. That's something to keep in mind.
At this speed, it's not unbearable at all. We just note that it's less well soundproofed, suggesting it might be a bit noisy on the highway.
A little bit. There you see the downshift. You can hear the engine a bit. So this characteristic sound of the 3 cylinders. Even if we don't vibrate, you see you don't feel it at all now.
Not at all, but in noise indeed, you can qualify it as vibrations.
Exactly. Actually, it's quite pleasant like this. The direction is nice. We have space. It's big. It's glazed. It's bright. I like it. And the steering wheel, do you like the steering wheel? It's quite special. It's half small, half big, half square, half round, half oval. I don't quite understand.
The handling?
That's the object itself. Afterwards, what I like about these steering wheels is that there's no bar here because I like to rest my
hand there. You
see, I assist with driving and I rest my
hand there.
And you see, for example, the C4, they've put this big plastic thing here. Well, I'm less of a fan here. I prefer. But no. You see, driving is good. We will say now these days all cars are good. It's rare to find a car where you say it's really not crazy here. It's simplicity. We can have up to 7 seats, so I'd really like to try it anyway.
7 people.
On the small mountain roads with a 130 horsepower engine.
Afterwards, I sincerely think that it's not a road car for 7 people, that the 7 people is when you're in town, it's a supplement.
What's interesting is when you're on the road and you have luggage, you take the 7 people's space for your suitcases, and on the other hand, you're in 5 seats and you're in 7 seats in town when you need to.
Otherwise, the roof rack, and that's it.
Yes, so
you add even more weight.
And there, indeed, you might be missing a few horses.
Afterwards, often it's little things that you carry in the back. It's little things like that which make...
Oh, well.
You see,
That's what children are called.
Those ones, yes, exactly. Yes.
But the little things, they potentially come with beds by support, strollers, things that are no longer so small in that way.
The smaller it is, the more...
You carry gear.
Indeed, speed up a little bit. See, as long as you don't rev up the accelerator, it's not unreasonable.
Yes, right now it is.
Working. We have 70 uphill without the engine, which is a little under strain, but honestly reasonable. And so if we accelerate here, it's a highway here, 120. We will go to the little bit of 120 right away.
Clements, now.
That we found her.
Yeah, so it's rumbling now.
A bit. We're getting to 120.
You have some air noises.
Yes.
You have some real air noises.
It comes a bit from the sides of the mirrors. After all, it's still pretty high like a car. I don't necessarily find it odd. And we do a little bit at 130 because in our place it's 130. We could see on this car it makes a difference. You see between 100 and 130, there is no difference really. It's not ridiculous.
Yeah, afterwards it's not a car that will tire you on the road, but still the sound system is far from being as good as on a quadri.
So you see on the other hand, it's a thing I don't like. I entered a menu and I don't want to be in the menu. I just want to do this. It didn't work. There's a car in front. Yes, I see it, but you see it's just that sometimes, in fact, you go into a menu and that's poor design, that you enter this milieu with a thing, and it's because I made a mistake and states.
From studies, struggle to get out.
Exactly. Well, afterwards, to do a little bit, we are going to redo a little piece further on to give you a debrief at the end.
No, but it's not bad. But indeed, you are better at low speed anyway.
It's not absurd, but at 90, we're not bad. It does.
What? You're at 90 there.
Yeah, to the heater, no. No, I'm going to cook it, Clements.
We're loaded. No, 90 is actually fine. The soundproofing becomes more annoying once you reach highway speeds.
Yet, honestly, I don't find it unreasonable.
It doesn't cover the noise of the children.
You see, you can feel that it really relies quite a bit. You can feel that it's really intended to be very comfortable. Inside, so I don't know if you can see it there, there are some small ambient lights over there.
It's light!
What's there?
Deserves to exist.
It's a little something. So you see, earlier I did this, I try to understand, and in fact I don't get there. And I'm going to increase the speed 89, 90, okay, so what do you...
Press the central button less to validate.
I still don't understand, but at night where there is ambient lighting there just to make it cute and a little bit...
Yes, it's just to say that they're...
Is a thing?
Nice.
That's calming is. A motorcycle, I think I love the sound of things like that, you see, but that's over now, fortunately.
You see a motorcycle there.
Yes.
Listen to this. Listen.
Go ahead, sir.
Where is she?
She's behind. Oh no, he didn't feel like it anymore. At 62 miles IQ, it's fine with just a bit of wind noise. The rolling noise remains relatively contained, and the road noise is very clean. The small grooves and others filter well.
The air and engine noises are particularly noticeable, especially during acceleration.
Exactly. This vehicle lacks adaptive cruise control, lane centering, and level 2 driving assists. It only has a standard cruise control, so it's not fully equipped with all the options.
Yes, and that's also why it's affordable in price, exactly.
In the end, this 136 hybrid really works almost like a real hybrid car. Except that it has less power than most real hybrids. And for example, at high speed, if I even let go, being at 80-90, we still go back to electric. We have 28 horses, if for example they're just a very light strand of gas to maintain it roughly past. But there we are in a slight climb, but sometimes on false flats or other, you manage to be...
In full electric?
That's really good.
Because that still means you have a much more interesting consumption. Then we will have to see, because the...
Consumption is still quite high there for the moment. Fuel consumption just reached 1.5 gallons per 12.4 miles.
We're ascending slightly as we approach the mountains.
We're on the highway and all, but we're still super...
Reasonable. We didn't drive at high speed for a long time. It remains to be seen, but I'm excited to see the full loop since we started high, went up and then down. So we returned to the exact same point, so can't wait to really see on our complete loop. Then, as you see there, I'm accelerating a bit and setting it to 100. Imagine if I want to play myself, I let go a bit and I'm happy being Alec. After you have all of it.
The immediate energy regeneration that slows you down?
You don't have a freewheel, really.
There's no freewheel, so I let go.
When cruising on the highway in the C4, you experienced a unique...
Freewheeling. No, it was a bit like that. It's a small regeneration that allows to recharge its battery as quickly as possible.
It's a lot less on the highway. In the city a lot. You see the
C4, you see the...
Management director.
With the CF4, maybe we felt on...
Highway, because there are times when I tried to slow down or downshift to drive slower just by lifting the foot. In fact, it took me a long time, so it's not necessarily...
It's true that we have a generation. You see the atmosphere of changing from 4.90 to 65.
Which is not at all the case with the Quattro.
Or else you get yourself...
in neutral.
Then you roll.
Yes, so it's a...
different method. But here, on the other hand, we are in neutral drive and you go again.
Yeah, it's another method. Why not?
It's not very advisable, but rather than playing with neutral regeneration pallets there, you don't have any...
Pallets?
No, there are no pallets. We do not pass the reports and others. It's because it's the same, that's additional costs, and as it was really necessary to contain the cost of this car as much as possible.
Honestly, you don't need a pallet.
No. Clearly, well there you go, actually you have an engine brake like on a standard car, like you...
Stay on it.
People are somewhat accustomed to speed. However, the advantage here is that you recreate energy. The regulator, if you want to maintain a stabilized regime, will handle it for you. So here we are, arrived at Montserrat with a view over these incredible mountains. It's one of the roads that I love. I gain too much. I find it crazy all the time. The mountains, the landscapes, one more with the soul, and...
the lighting, the summer, the little fog and all that.
Honestly, it's just great. We did exactly 62 kilometers. Knowing the average is 6.3 and it increases slightly, starting from sea level to reach this point. So it's a little bit lower compared to your time. It's not bad that taking souvenir photos has become more accepted, because it's true. They are absolutely right, and you will see my favorite Plan Clement is when we get there here. When you have sun, look at this landscape, it's mountain. I find it incredible. I don't know if you still see it public, but it's just too beautiful, and here's a little hole. So here, where it's winding, we don't have drive mode on this car. It doesn't have sport mode. And all this is you drive, it's...
all the handle.
So it really doesn't make you want to go fast at all, you see. We feel that it leans a lot, so it's my tripod behind that makes noise, but you see...
Do that!
It's not made to go fast.
No, we're surprised.
No?
There you go.
Not at all, it's a car. So honestly, since earlier, it's comfortable. We're not bad in it. It's good. We've driven a long way. There have been a lot of roads at 80, and we've had some works a little at 60. There has been a little in the end at 120. It's a comfortable car, honestly there. I feel good. Just a small problem that the heating, it's either too cold or it's too hot. And
facing these bunch sensitivity a month, I don't feel it at all. No.
But I still feel it. I'm quite sensitive to it. You
see, and
now it's broken. Your thermometer.
That's what's very good, in fact. After you will do, but I know that I have a sensitivity there. It's too pretty, and even that, when there is sun, it's just amazing. Well, it's Clémence who took the hand this time. I'm being driven while calmly going down. We have 50 kilometers left to arrive. We see that the consumption has gone down to 5.9 liters. Let's see how it goes. We'll take the highway again. Even as a passenger, it's not too unpleasant. Indeed, we feel that in the curves, the hold, in fact, the bulges are soft. The issue is that due to their softness, there isn't much left in the end.
Support. So it's more comfort than support.
Exactly. As a passenger, we're also pretty good.
I think the seat seems higher though, and that's what I tell you I'm going to...
Not.
Fine.
We can't adjust the height.
But if it's necessary, it's fair.
That we are new, it's mandatory. There isn't the thing here. It's often only the driver that can be adjusted. Is it a problem that we're this high? No, because look, even at 6 feet tall, I still have plenty of space even when high. It's just that I like to be a little lower. Yeah, me too, but at worst we can tilt the back a bit to lower our heads a little. So we are approaching the end. Look, we will be able to test the turning radius. Careful, are you ready? Turn all the way, all the way, all the way. There you go.
Yes, it's good, I thought.
32 feet, it's not too bad.
It's just that I hate it.
Yeah, if you want, and then we can...
do a consumption check as well.
So we just did 132.2 kilometers average at 5.4 liters. So we still have quite a decrease, 5.4 liters. over 132. So at the beginning it consumed a little more because indeed we had some climbing, so it was positive elevation, which made that obviously it consumes a little more. And look, if we go back to the total info, so we lowered the average to 6.3 liters. So they had 6.9 liters, the old colleagues. So we made them decrease over 345 kilometers. We can see that when we were driving, we were a bit gentler. After getting on the highway around Barcelona, we couldn't give you a thorough test due to the area's complexity. So it will consume, I think, the average of 6.3 liters. It could make a rather real thing, in my opinion. I think they have when
Even one
little more.
Harder than us because we drove around Mount Serrat calmly. On the highway, we always adhered to speed limits. So what we've done, I think that's the average we're supposed to do.
Yes, I think after that, on smaller roads, if we do more highway or more rolling, I think it will rise to around 6 liters. I don't think that seems unreasonable. Our average on the small roads. The hybridization, in the end, I didn't expect it to work this well. It's true that it's well developed. Maybe it will improve little by little over time as well. So, we make the conclusion here in the end.
During that we are here is quite nice. We came back, look, to show you. I like to show you the behind the scenes. Here we have all behind the 103 which are there. Do not move. I show you a little of your, there you go, with all the colors, and that's us. Hop. I tighten it, so in the end it's a car. There is room in the back.
We have a quite spacious trunk and 5 seats. I think that's ideal. It is.
Great for a 5-seater and has seating for 7.
Which is
very convenient for families.
Because on a daily basis to take them to school, etc. And others, it's true that it's not bad to have the only car after, I don't know, I don't have 5 children. I don't even have any at all. You who have 3 children, you were telling me that it was convenient. I have
need a 7-seater because during the week we swap for activities, etc. And actually you often need more seats when you have a large family. And so for daily life, you have these extra seats, and then otherwise you have a trunk that is, it's clearly okay for when you are making longer journeys.
So
the universe is nice, habitable and spacious. It's a super comfortable car.
In addition, the price remains reasonable. So you can take the basic 103 in 5 seats, which is still a lot more compact, so it's more practical for the city and other things. Then it also comes in an electric version. If you want for
everyday use
in the city, it can be practical. Yes, there are plenty of LX around here. Is it better to take the 103 Aircross or the 103? In both cases, for me, both are as comfortable as we can have the seats like this. We have the suspension and others. This one is the look. It's the look and it's more volume. Do we need this volume? Yes or no? That's according to your criteria. It's always good to have more space. Indeed, we feel taller, a little bit bigger. For my use involving many cities, I'd choose the smaller C3, which is more compact.
Compact. Afterwards,
it's true that the look, when I see this one, I think, still a nice car I have.
After all,
a size that fits. Actually, it sticks even more, but it's even kind of close to the 105 now, actually, this one.
The 105 is even bigger, but that's it. It's really in between the 103 or the 105.
You say the 5 is too much, the 103 is too small? You have
this compromise
with the 103 Aircross.
Yes, but it completes the range nicely.
I like it. For me, with my family profile, I would obviously go for this, but then Citroen...
A range that is becoming quite complete.
So in this place for you?
There you go. In this place, it's certain.
Okay, well then, interesting. So don't hesitate to tell me what you think about it. In terms of consumption, it's correct. Me, personally, I would go for the hybrid 136, this one. The 100, I think it might be a little tight because even there, we already felt the boosts. The car has 136 horsepower, which is decent.
No less is needed.
There you go, underneath. I think unless you really have country use, where there are really no big insertions or relaunches to be done, 100 horses can do the job. I'm also in favor of the automatic box.
It's a lot
more practical. Talks about manual gearbox. He looks at us as if we were aliens. I find that this is still a plus and it happens more and more. And the aim is to keep going like that, in my opinion, and Marspot, but it's not me. And there you go. I like this car. It's a good compromise, a rate.
Correct.
Don't hesitate to go try it.
As I often say, go try it. In a lot of videos on the channel, I put links in the description so you can go test the cars directly from me. We'll remind you, contact you, and you can go try it.
If one day you want to try this car, I think this one will have a link, but you look with quite a lot of cars. Not all, because some dealers want to work better with me and some brands, and we can have some models, so don't hesitate. You fill out the form and you go try the car. And then I think there's nothing better than trying it yourself.
It's mandatory to try a car before taking it.
Driving sensations are highly subjective.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe for more content, and see you soon.
See you soon. I can do it too.